Upon receiving the alarm, I'm going to grab the hard copy off our station printer of the run report. I'm going to make my way to my apparatus. Once there, I'm going to make sure that I update my status on my MDC to en route and then quickly review the information that's given on our MDC. I see that it is 7:30 in the morning and we are responding to a single-story multi-family triplex fire. It's reported as a kitchen fire or a grease fire. We know that the occupants were told to evacuate. We have 2 kids and 1 adult reported. Weather report is that winds are coming in from the southeast and it's 84 degrees outside. And that there's a hydrant 75 feet from the east and the complex faces north. Now right there, that's a lot of information for me to start planning my strategy of attack and the tactics I'm going to assign to achieve my incident priorities. En route to the call, I'm going to make sure that my EO knows the safest, most direct route, and we're going to consider alternate routes in case of high traffic. It's 7:30 in the morning. A lot of people probably go into work at this time. Consider our pedestrians. A lot of people like to jog and exercise at this time. We're also going to consider other responding apparatus and their direction of travel. And I'm also going to make sure that I update my crew any information that I receive through the dispatch computer and our radio. Things like our monitor TAC channel. I want to make sure that my crew knows the monitor TAC channel and that they repeat it back to me. En route, this is when I'm also going to start formulating my plan. I'm thinking about, do I need additional alarms? We do have reports of a kitchen fire. It is a triplex, meaning that there's multiple units, 3 units connected into one building. Know that that fire is going to spread rapidly if it gets in our cockloft in our attic space or in horizontal or vertical voids. I know wind's going to be a factor in that spread, so I do want to go ahead and get an additional alarm to this call. Also want to get a PD response to this call to help us maintain a safe perimeter. Want them to make sure that occupants that are in other buildings are protected and in place, and that possibly if they can see other people around the area, they can call to them and get them out of the immediate danger to the life hazard zone. So I want to get that PD response. Want to also make sure that I'm looking in that general direction of the area. I'm going to think about looking for a plume of smoke. Reading that smoke, I'm going to read it for color, volume, and velocity. It's going to let me know what might be burning, how long it's been burning, and in what intensity it's burning. Again, this is probably more than likely modern construction, lightweight construction. So it's at this point I'm also doing my risk versus benefit analysis. Based on what I see from our initial arrival, it's going to help me decide if I need to risk a lot to save a lot or risk very little to save a little. My number one priority are my firefighters. My firefighters get hurt or injured, they can't save those victims. Upon arriving on scene, I'm going to make sure that my EO pulls just past the structure. That way I can get at least a 3-sided view in case we can't do a full 360. It's from this point on that I'll start setting up my action plan. It's going to be based on my initial size up and my 360 size up. I'm going to make sure that my EO stages near that closest hydrant. I see that there is a hydrant about 75 feet to the east of the complex. I see that it is a triplex. We do have fire showing from a kitchen window. I do believe it might be resettable at this time, but it's going to take further investigation. My initial radio report is going to be that Engine 1 is on location of a single-story, small, multifamily occupancy. We have fire showing from the A alpha side. Engine 1 will be laying a supply line and stretching hand lines to the A alpha side for primary search and fire control. Please continue my emergency response and my second alarm companies. I want my first alarm companies to stage on the main street in their direction of travel, while my second alarm companies to level 2 stage in the parking lot across the street from the complex, directly to the west of the complex. Engine 1 will be setting up, establishing Main Street Mobile Command. We will be in the offensive mode. It's at this time when I get out, I start doing my more thorough evaluation of the scene. My firefighters will be instructed to stretch the hand lines, engine 3/4, from our pre-connects, while my EO is catching that plug, getting that water supply. That water supply is key. I know I have about 500 gallons in that tank, but if life safety issues, rapid spread of this fire due to the construction of the building and the wind speed right now, I'm going to need to establish that water supply. We're probably going to need a secondary water supply, so I'm going to be thinking about that as well. Where's my secondary water supply so I can radio that to my next arriving engine? Preferably, I want that to be on a different main in case we have an issue with this one here. During my 360 report, I'm looking for my subject matter experts. Where are my occupants? Where are the people that live here? Is there anybody I can talk to that can confirm, yes, we are the occupants of this building. We are out at this time. It was a grease fire. It was cooking bacon. It got out of control. That's the kind of thing I'm looking for initially when I get out. As I do my 360, I got a 3-sided view, so I really don't have to go completely all the way around this structure. I can walk to the back and look down the back side of the structure. I know that there's bedrooms in the back. What I'm doing here is I'm looking for any hazards that might put us in danger, like down power lines. Is there utility shut off, like gas and electricity? When I see those, I'm going to have my tick with me, my hand tool with me that will allow me to control these utilities at this time. Do I see any open doors or windows that I can quickly shut to control the flow path of this fire? Again, I'm going to try to limit its spread to the other units here as well as the other buildings here. At this time, I'm also going to listen for the sound of fire, crackling of fire, or the sound of victims. I know that it's early in the morning, that more than likely victims are going to be in that bedroom. Now if I see opportunities for a vent, enter, isolate, search, then of course my action plan is going to have to change, and I'm going to radio that we're going to be doing emergency rescue procedures. Of course, these people have to be within line of sight. I have to see them in the door, I have to see them in that window in order for this to be effective. I'm also going to be looking for are there any fences, any hurdles, obstacles we have to get over, dumpsters, electrical boxes, things of that nature. So this time I also want to consider what type of resources that I want to ask for. Do I need utilities to assist in shut off? Do I need an extra engine company here so that my officer on that engine company can be my accountability officer? I'm going to have to take a step back from this a little bit. I don't feel like I can actually go in and make an effective effort and control the scene at this time. So as I complete my 360, I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind. I want my 360 report to be as follows. Main Street Command Attack 11. 360 has revealed this fire is resettable. We have no obstacles. Utilities have been shut off. All windows and doors have been closed to control the flow path. No victims noticed at this time on the interior. We will be resetting the fire and then continuing with our incident action plan of primary search and fire control. Engine 1 will be setting up a geographical location at Alpha. We have a tick reading of 200 at the front door. It's at this time that, in keeping with my incident priorities, prior to entering this structure, I want to make sure that my EO is geared up properly. I want to make sure that both my firefighters are geared up properly. We're going to check each other's PPE to make sure that there's no inconsistency in how they put it on, and that everything is correct and safe. I want to make sure that they are plugged in, that the air is working, there's no leaks in their mask. I'm having my EO gear up this time because we need to form an intermediary RIT team, and that will be myself and my plugs firefighter. I'm going to need my EO to go in with my first line firefighter, with the search line with an 1 3/4 that's charged, and search for any victims that might be in here. We don't have any confirmations of victims being out, but again, just to reiterate that we are going to reset this fire prior to entering to make the area more tenable. So my EO is going to be set up to be our first primary search team, while I, myself, and my other firefighter are going to be established our IRIT team. When that second engine gets on board, I want to make sure that they know, or I give them the information that where that secondary water supply is, and that I want them to establish a secondary water supply. I want their crew to meet me at the Alpha side. I want the captain of that crew and my firefighter to go in and conduct primary search. I want that other firefighter and my EO to remain